Hello and welcome to the second installment of my grading of all of the base game cards. If you want insight about the grading system, check out the description or click on the link in the top right hand corner to get to the first video of this series where I explain it all. But let's get started. With Aerobraked Ammonia Asteroid we have our first F tier card. Nothing about this card makes any sense. One plant pot sucks if you cannot combine it with other plant pot or placement bonuses. But let's say you're ecoline, so you can make use of the plant prot, and certainly also the heat prot for a fast game. You would want to play this card as early as possible, but at that point in the game you certainly have no use for the microbes and you don't have the money to pay for this insanely overpriced card. Other corps that have the titanium prot to play this rather early on have no need for what this card offers. It just feels random, heavily overpriced and underwhelming. Never play this. In stark contrast to the last card, we have AI Central, one of, if not the best card in the game. This goes straight into S tier. Of course, this card is expensive, the science tech requirements can be problematic, and there are scenarios where you do not want to play this card, for example in the last 1 or 2 gens. But in the early to mid game, this card is insanely strong. Cards are the most limiting resource of the game. You only have the choice of 4 at the start of each gen. Drawing 2 more for free each gen increases the likelihood of you playing only the most efficient cards and not running out of options. There are other factors about this card that are great. The tags are good, you can use the building tag for builder and the science tag for other higher science payoffs like mass converter or anti-gravity technology. And then for some reason this card also holds a VP. This is one of the few cards that are worth using an SP power to turn them on. Also, there are so many situations where you cannot play this but still have to cut it in a draft, so AI Central fulfills all requirements for a true S tier card. Algae is a really efficient plant producer that comes down rather early. 5 oceans usually get placed quite quickly, especially on the base game board. This makes it better than bushes for me, a card which costs the same but gives 1 more plant. In a normal game you will reach 5 oceans earlier than -10 degrees Celsius. Algae is especially great if you have other plant production cards to synergize with it, or ocean placement cards that let you play it faster. For me, Algae is a B tier card. Anti-gravity technology is either unplayable or the best card in the game. If you can play this and you don't run out of cards to play, you basically just win. But of course, 7 science tags is a huge requirement. There are many games where you can't reach it. But in most cases you do not want to pass this even if your opponent only has 1 or 2 science tags. You just don't know whether they still have a few in hand or are willing to take the gamble and get a payoff. I can't rank AGT in S tier since it is so situational. But I also can't go lower than A tier because of its potential and the fact that it is so scary to pass. Ants is the single highest payoff microbe card in the base game, but since most of the other microbe cards are so lackluster, they seldom get played and you will probably not have a target with ants. Of course, this card can be nice together with certain combo cards, but for that it is still hella expensive. Just compare it to a 1-point animal. They come down a bit later but offer much higher payoff and greater combo potential with cards like imported hydrogen or large convoy. So to summarize, ants can be good if your opponents play the microbe card like decomposers and you have some combo potential. But most of the time it is either not playable or not worth the high price. D tier for me. I hope you enjoyed my video on the base game cards, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Also let me know in the comments what your gradings would have been, and follow me on Twitch if you want to catch me live streaming Terraforming Mars. Have a good one.